Las Vegas is the city that never sleeps, but inside the Desert Palms Hotel. Room 2147 was supposed to be quiet. Danielle Maricir, a tech consultant from Seattle, checked in for a 3-night business trip. It was just another hotel, another room. The first day went by without a hitch: meetings, dinner, and a walk back through the noisy casino. At 9:42 p.m., Daniel returned to his room, and that's when it began. The feeling that something was wrong. It was subtle at first. His suitcase, which he distinctly remembered leaving by the desk, was now closer to the bed. He was sure of it. Maybe housekeeping? No. The Do Not Disturb sign was still hanging on the door handle, untouched. He walked further in. The bathroom light was on. He knew he'd turned it off. The counter around the sink was damp, with tiny droplets of water. His stomach tightened. He called the front desk. They were polite, but firm. "No staff entered your room, sir. Your keycard shows only one access since 6:15 p.m. yours." Daniel barely slept that night. The next morning, he asked for a full keycard access report. It showed 3 failed attempts to enter his room the previous evening at 8:03, Las 8:05, and 8:08 p.m. Invalid key. Invalid key. Invalid key. The front desk said it was probably just a guest trying the wrong door. It happens. Still, Daniel felt a chill. He had his room rekeyed, deactivating the old cards. That night, after dinner, he returned at 10:17 p.m. He locked the door behind him, using the deadbolt and the security latch for good measure. The air in the room felt warmer, thicker. He went into the bathroom. The shower curtain, which he always left pulled back, was now slightly open. I stared at it, his heart pounding, but nothing moved. His towels, neatly folded that morning, were now slightly disturbed, as if someone had touched them. He tried to shake it off, blaming it on exhaustion. He finally drifted into a light, uneasy sleep. At exactly 2:08 a.m., he woke up, not from a noise, but from movement. The slow, deliberate sound of the door handle turning. But it wasn't coming from the hallway. It was coming from inside the room. His eyes snapped open. The room was dark, but he could see the handle moving again. He heard the soft click of the deadbolt, followed by the trembling of the security latch. Someone was testing the door from the inside. He shut up and flicked on the lamp. The sound stopped instantly. He ran to the door. The deadbolt was still engaged, the latch still secure. He checked the bathroom, the closet, under the bed. The room was empty. He called security. 2 guards arrived and searched the room from top to bottom. They found nothing. They checked the hallway surveillance. Cameras no. One had been near room 2147 for hours. No one had entered, and no one had left. They suggested it was stress, maybe a bad dream, but Daniel knew what he heard. He had been wide awake. The next morning, he demanded to change rooms. While packing his suitcase, he noticed something behind the heavy blackout curtains. It was a narrow service panel door, painted the same color as the wall, almost perfectly hidden. It wasn't fully latched. His curiosity got the better of him. He pulled it open. Inside was a dark maintenance access shaft, wide enough for a person to crawl through, connecting to the plumbing lines that ran up and down the building. Along the metal edges of the opening, there were faint scuff marks, and on the floor of the shaft lay a small, crushed water bottle. It wasn't the kind the hotel provided. It wasn't his. Security was called again. A maintenance worker confirmed the shaft was supposed to be locked from the inside, but the latch was broken. There were no cameras inside the shaft. No record of who might have been using it. The hotel management quickly refunded his stay and offered a complimentary future visit. Daniel declined. Weeks later, an automated email arrived from the hotel. "Thank you for staying in room 2147. We hope to see you again." Attached was a promotional photo of the newly renovated room. Daniel zoomed in on the picture. On the edge of the bathroom mirror, barely visible, was a faint smudge. A hand. A handprint, but it was on the inside surface of the glass, facing the mirror, as if someone had been standing behind it, watching. No suspect was ever identified. The maintenance shaft was quietly sealed shut. Months later, but room 2147 is still available for booking. And if you ever find yourself staying there, you might want to check behind the curtains before you turn out the lights. Thanks for watching. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe for more.